Amanda McLaren, and this is the Papaya Pod.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Papaya Pod. This is the 2026 Formula One season predictions from myself, from Keith, and from Keith that way, and from James down there. How are we doing, guys?
Absolutely
Yeah, really
fantastic.
good.
Good, good. Ready for this? Because we're going to get called out at the end of the season for this. You know that, right?
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Bring it on, that's what I say. Bring it on.
Unless we absolutely just get it spot on perfect, one of us, if by some miracle.
I don't.
Miracle is the right word.
I think I'd have to follow the yellow brick road and go and see the big green man to get it right. Trust me, I'm going to need more help than that.
Right, guys, what we're going to do in this one is there's a little bit of fun. We've kind of decided we're gonna predict the constructors from 1 to 11 or from 11 to 1, and then we're going to do the top 5 drivers as well. This could go anywhere. I honestly, we've not spoken about this, so I don't know what James and Keith's predictions are at all. If you saw Keith on the motorsport review with Perry, you may well, it might have changed by then, but you may well know roughly what Keith's is, and you may have heard my one on there as well, potentially. No idea what James has got, so maybe mine's
Got some
changed.
secrets in the wait then.
Maybe it will change during recording. Maybe that people will change each other's minds. Who knows? It's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, we're going to start, guys, with the constructors number 11. I'll be surprised if we've not all got the same for this one, but who knows?
Well, I'm going to start then with this one. I possibly have not gone where you think I've gone because I think there's some changes afoot. I'm going with Alpine personally. Oh, I knew it was going to be controversial, but I knew it. But I'm going to go with Alpine because I'm not sure they've got it all together. But there you go. That's Keith's first one. So I'll get ready to nail the coffin because they're going to go in. You know they are.
Wow. I didn't see that coming.
That's a left field one, that one is.
A Mercedes engine Alpine in 11.
Yeah, but I just don't know yet because there's a couple of people in there, that team that I'm not overly a certain person oversees things that I think could throw in a few spanners, and I'll leave that right there because it's not going to be political.
Yeah, a certain Mr. Flavio Briatore, I think we're talking about there, but there we go.
Could be the one. That could be the one.
It could be.
Yeah. Love him or hate him, at least you know where you stand with him, I guess.
I suppose so, yeah, I guess so.
What are you saying, James? Number 11.
Well, I feel like I've gone completely opposite to Keith with this one. A little bit more predictable. I've gone with Cadillac.
Same. Yeah.
I'd like to think that they're gonna do well. I just think it's a big ask. Two drivers have been off the grid for a year. Brand new team around them. I just think it's going to be a big ask coming in. I'd love for Cadillac to do well. You know, I'm a big Mario Andretti fanboy, so to see anything linked to Andretti doing well, I'm all for that. But I just don't see it this season. Doesn't mean to say that they're not going to greatly improve as it goes on.
See, there you go, James. That's sorry, Jimmy, I jumped in.
No,
this is what I did my predictions on. You see, I've done my predictions on where do I think they will finish. I don't think they're going to start strong necessarily, but where will they finish? So this is why I'm going to have some very bizarre ones going on.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Cadillac. It does feel like an obvious choice, right? It's the new team, everything else, but I have to say. That said, although I've put Cadillac down there myself, McLaren 1 and 2, always. Don't really mind what order. This might actually get me a lot of hate. I'm massively rooting for Lewis Hamilton this year. Not to beat the McLarens, but just to do well. And a lot of people might hate that from McLaren because he's a Ferrari driver, but I do. I want to see Lewis turn it around. I'd love nothing more than for Lewis Hamilton to finish third. But the other driver that I'm massively rooting for this season, because I love him, is Valtteri Bottas. And I am so happy to see that man back on the Formula One grid because, I mean, he's just such good fun.
He's such a lively character. He brings an element of show to the grandstand. His interaction with the fans is phenomenal. You know, come on, we all need a Valtteri on the grid. Let's be honest, we do.
And he has fantastic hair.
Incredible hair.
This nail it. What an haircut.
Well, of course, the ladies might not agree that's his best asset, because we do know that the bot aspect does come in quite a lot.
If you're
No
not
wrong here.
following Valtteri on social media, then go and do it, and you can thank us later, because it's such good fun. You can't.
He is good
If
fun.
anyone out there doesn't like him, I think you've got some serious problems, because he's got to be one of the most likable people in the world.
I just want to know which marketing organization, which marketing officer said to him, "You do know your best asset could be your asset."
Oh, super. But yeah, I will be rooting for Cadillac, just because
Yep.
of Valtteri Bottas. Absolutely. Number 10, guys, what you got, Keith?
I've gone Red Bull Part 2, as I like to call them, because they are still a Part 2 team as far as I'm concerned. They're not an independent, but that's, again, my views only, but I do still see them as a Part 2 team.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I haven't got him in 10th, but they ain't much higher, to be honest. I've gone with Audi in 10th.
So I've gone with them in 9th.
Very similar reason to Cadillac. Big changes.
Big changes.
Although, when I've looked at the whole grid for the drivers, I've got Bortoleto finishing far higher this year than what he did last year. I think he's going to do well. But I just not convinced how reliable that car's going to be over the season. Basically, it's Cadillac 2.0 for my prediction, but we don't really know what's going to come out of that new engine.
Yeah.
I think Hulkenberg had a tremendous season last year, getting the podium finally. I see that as being a bit of a one and done for me. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near as good as what he did last year. Bortoleto's the future in that team, and I think we're going to start seeing that this year. I think he's going to outperform Hulkenberg over the space of the season, but not enough to drag Audi up that list. 10th for Audi.
I've got them in 10 as well, mate. We're going to have to start changing this in a minute, otherwise people are going to think I'm copying you. Yeah, same. That said, Sauber did make big improvements last year. So, yes, it's a different team. How much of it is different? I guess we'll see, right? I mean,
yeah,
I think that's the beauty of this year, right? Nobody knows how this is going to go.
That's exactly where I was going, yeah.
It kind of feels like most people, and maybe we haven't here, I don't know, we'll find out, but most people have kind of got the top 4 as the top 4, but in any order. It could be any way.
Yeah.
And then the same with the rest of the field. You just take your pick, pull them out of a hat, because absolutely no one. Listen, maybe we'll get a shock in the top 4. Maybe someone will split that up.
Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be great if we actually saw a completely mixed grid and we saw some midfield teams coming up to the front and pushing? I mean, that would just make for fantastic racing, let's be honest.
Absolutely. I mean, I thought Aston were going to do that, but
I'm not
early
so sure,
early signs aren't great, are they?
No. So in 9th then, Jimmy, I did put the Audi team in 9th because, again, I'm thinking there's a pedigree of Audi. They're not going to put their name to anything that potentially isn't going to earn them their stripes. And we know from endurance racing and other racings, Audi's pedigree has been pretty good. And if they've adopted some of that and using some of that with the Sauber team and bringing in different people, potentially we could see a stronger car. But again, that's just my thoughts. Audi don't like to do anything half-hearted, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Racing Bulls in 9th. I'm going to get in there before you, James, just in case we're still on the same page here.
We've got a different one, Jimmy. We have gone different. Not by much. I've gone what some people might consider to be slightly controversial with this one. I was massive on them coming into the season. I thought they was going to do really, really well. And unless Adrian Newey is going to win an Oscar for his acting ability in leading us all to believe that this car is a bit of a tractor, and he's lying about the parts not being available, I'm sticking Aston Martin down in 9th. I think they're going to have a dreadful start of the season. If the rumours I'm hearing are true, they might not even get past the first 10 laps in Australia.
Wow.
Due to issues with parts. Of course, they have the how am I going to describe this gentleman? They have everyone's favourite second driver in Lance Stroll, who I don't think is going to help the cause. Um, I've actually got him to come in at the very high position of 22nd in my whole driver ranking. I think he's going to have a May. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he doesn't score a point this season. Um,
Wow.
I think Alonso will do Alonso's type things, but even Alonso's going to struggle if what is coming out is true. It could
Wow.
be a big game to throw us all off, and Aston Martin might win the first 3 races of the season, and I could look like an absolute muppet. But this is what I'm going to go with: Aston Martin in 9.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. But they're in 8th place for me, Jimmy, for the very same reasons. I've got them in number 8. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them starting particularly well, but I do think Adrian Newey will somehow work his magic and get things going.
That's what I was thinking.
And I think he will turn it around fairly quick once the cars are actually racing on the track.
That's why I kind of stuck them that midfield, that 8th place, thinking that the start of the season may not be good, but by the end of it. But I'm going to put a wild prediction out. Okay, here we go. This is going to be a real weird one now, and you're both going to look at me. Even though his daddy owns the team, I've got to think if he doesn't perform with Adrian being there and all the changes, that maybe he could, who knows, lose that seat halfway through the season. Who knows? I mean, surely he's got to prove himself now with the racing god that is Adrian building a car. I mean, come on. I know, and I'm not going to be rude about him, but come on. Is he going to stay for the season? Has he got to perform better? I don't know. Over to you guys.
I'm going to throw another quick prediction at that. If Lance Stroll is to lose his seat, which is possible, despite the fact his dad's the boss, I don't think Adrian Newey took his position without any say in what happens.
Kind of where I was going with that thought, you see.
Yeah, he's not silly, that man. I think if let's say that happens, there's only one man for that seat. Honda engine. Yuki Tsunoda. It's an obvious choice, right?
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me that Yuki would be loitering.
I don't think that's a bad shout, you know.
That would be the obvious choice. It would be a bit of a kick in the old nether regions for Mr. Van Dorn being the reserve driver. But that's kind of taking out Stroll and putting in Stroll 2.0, I suppose, really. From historic evidence of how Van Dorn performed.
Yeah.
So I think Tsunoda would be a really, really good shout. It's, as you say, what Newey has put into place coming into that role. What has he already got hanging around and waiting?
Yeah. Oh, it's going to be so... I can't wait, man. I'm so excited for this season. I have got... Well, in 8th place. I think I've made a mistake here, you know. I've got Haas in 8.
Ooh.
And I am kind of regretting that, you know. But I just think the teams I've put ahead of them are just going to figure it out.
I'm thinking...
I hope I'm wrong for Ollie Behrman's sake, by the way.
I'm just thinking Haas and Toyota. I'm just thinking, again, racing pedigree coming into this.
Yeah, I mean, that could be my worst shout, to be fair.
Because they've got such a pedigree in endurance racing and everything racing, haven't they? Bit like Audi, but hey, we're jumping too quick. We've only got it down there at the moment.
Yeah.
we haven't heard James's prediction for 8th yet.
Well, my 8 isn't Haas. I've gone with Racing Bulls or V-Carb or Red Bull 2.0, whatever we're going to call them these days. Yeah. Liam Lawson, Arvid Lindblad. I think Lindblad's a great driver. Very, very good at the level he's come through at so far. You know, obviously, as we've seen historically, Formula One is a massive step up from all the previous formulas. But he is a very good driver, and I think he's going to be on the Formula One grid for many years to come. But a debut season in a season that's going to see so much unpredictability with what cars are good, what cars are not good. Does he have the knowledge and the ability to point out, or even the nerve to point out to the team, look, this isn't right. We need to change this. Is he going to know what to look for?
Mm.
I'm surprised they didn't go with a more experienced driver. It wouldn't have surprised me if Sonoda had got demoted back to these, to be honest, and had Lindblad as a reserve driver for the season. Purely off the back of the reg changes. I think they're going to need a bit of input, and I'm not sure how much of that they're going to get from Lindblad and Lawson.
Yeah, good shout, I suppose. Good shout. And I don't think it would be demoted. I think it's promoted after last season.
Yeah. That's a very fair shout, to be fair, Keith.
So this is good. So this goes 7th then. I've gone Cadillac because I think they might come good as the season goes on. So I might live to regret that, where you guys have put it.
Wow.
But 7th,
Okay.
but there you go. There they are. So yeah, I've done 7th for Cadillac because I've just kind of got a feeling that they've had two number two drivers. They've got two number two drivers, if you want to call it that, number two drivers. And we know that Valtteri is very, very good at feedback. He can talk to him, but we also know so can his new teammate, because he had to play shotgun for so long and have second-hand parts sometimes. So, both of them are good at feeding back information. And with that knowledge in a new team, who knows what that might do.
Do you know what? Shout out to Checo as well, because he got such a tough time at Red Bull, and all it's done is proven actually he wasn't the problem at all, because no other driver that stepped into that seat has done any better than he was doing. So,
and let's be honest, he brings a great section of fans with him. The Mexicans just love a Grand Prix. He does well there. He's a great crowd puller, and I think he got some bad press. Bless him. I think he got the sharp end of everything that went wrong.
That's the impossible task, isn't it? That number two at Red Bull.
So that's why I put them two, because I think together they might become quite dangerous as both being in the number two position in the past.
Well, I don't see there being any animosity between the two drivers either.
No.
I think that'll be very harmonious in camp Cadillac.
Because I think they've both been fantastic teammates. So I think they can breed that and they can build on that. And who knows? Let's watch this space.
I think the biggest question with Cadillac is, are they both going to be there next year? Or is Mr. Herta going to get promoted?
That's my biggest thing, is Mr. Herta coming across? Are they just keeping the seat warm? That was my biggest fear. Once he gets his super license, who knows?
Well, I don't think it's a bad lineup to start a Formula One team with.
No, me neither.
There's plenty of experience in there.
I totally agree.
Absolutely.
So come on in, Jimmy. Where are you going? What's your number 7, Jimmy? Come on.
Number 7. Oh, before testing, this was probably my top 3. I'm going to say, I'm going to throw it out there, top 3. But my number 7 is Aston Martin.
Okay.
And it pains me to say that, because I had such high hopes for it. I mean, we all love Adrian Newey, right? And I thought with him going there last year, he could just concentrate on a 2026 car. Don't know what's happened there. There's so many questions hanging over Aston Martin right now. Same with Williams, but there's so many questions hanging over them. What's happened? Something drastic's happened to that team.
Yeah, something's changed. Something. Has he over-engineered it? Who knows?
Possible. But yeah,
the regs kept changing. There's going to be people complaining about the regs. There's going to be other teams putting in, claims against them that they've adapted this. It's for this first season. It's going to be like juggling. Let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. What you got, James, at number 7?
Well, you just mentioned my number 7 team, Jimmy. I've gone with Williams. Again.
Wow.
Wow. I had them a lot higher than this.
Wow.
But their again, it's all rumours, but what I'm hearing is they are not completely happy with our car.
Wow.
So we could see a very similar, not quite as bad as what Aston Martin are suffering with, but we could see a massive fall off from Williams. And the reason I put them a lot higher than Aston Martin up in 7th is because I think they got the potential to come good a lot quicker. They haven't got as much work to do. They've got 2 very good, capable drivers. I think Sainz is going to start the season the way he finished last year. I've actually got Sainz being in the top 10 this year. I think he's going to come in around about the eighth spot for me personally. I think he's going to do really well. But I think the first 3 or 4 races, I think it's going to be pretty rough for Williams. And then it's going to be a case of crawling it back over the season and overtaking the teams that I put in 5th and 4th.
Wow. Good
And
shout then.
Wow. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
No, me neither. So in my 6th place then, I've got Haas. I've gone with Haas because I'm thinking again outside the box. And as I said earlier, I'm thinking that Toyota kind of mentality coming in because we know how strict they are, their thoughts and processes. And with that Ferrari-based engine in it, I was kind of hoping that we'd see some big improvement. So I put Haas in that 6th place.
I think that's fair. Like I say, I've got them down in 8th, and I think that's a big mistake from my part. I think 6 is more than fair for Haas. I hope so for Ollie as well.
Yeah, me too.
They've got a good driver line up there. They've got a good team in place, you know.
They have, and they've been getting stronger as the seasons went on, didn't they? You know, they started to, Ollie was definitely not scared to get his shoulder, his elbows out and race, go wheel to wheel with them. He didn't get intimidated by any means.
And on top of that, they've now got an American rival who they're going to want to show the world, right, that they're the top team coming out of the States, you would think.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah,
you know that.
That's definitely going to be a thing. They can play it down all they like, but that is definitely going to be a thing. Who you got, James, in 6th?
6th, I have gone with Alpine.
Wow, and I had them down the bottom.
Yeah, I think that if what we're hearing about this Mercedes engine is even 50% true, I think we're going to see a competitive Alpine this year.
That would be nice. I'm going to say, even though I put them down the bottom, it would be lovely to have them up there.
I think we're going to see a much better season from Colapinto this year. We've seen the promise that he had when he was with Williams. And I think Gasly's going to have an extremely good year. Again, I had Gasly in my top 10 to finish in the season.
He's a great driver. He is a cracking driver.
He's exactly what they need as well. He's got the experience. He's willing to speak up. He's got the ability to be able to say, look, we need to do this. We need to do that. This isn't working. Try this. Gasly will do that.
He can certainly drive the wheels off his car, can't he? Let's be honest.
100%. I mean, the way he was dragging that Alpine around the track towards the end of last season.
Good shout.
He was a very underrated driver in that second half of the season. I think a lot of people would have had him as probably the driver of the second half of the season if you took Max's comeback away. Purely because the fact he was getting that Alpine up into the points was incredible enough, and he was getting 5th and 6th.
He's definitely a driver I like to watch personally. I like him as a person, and I do rate his driving. I just think he gets a raw end of the deal sometimes with the vehicles he's got underneath him. So,
James, I'm with you. I've got Alpine in at 6th as well for all those reasons you've just absolutely nailed. The Mercedes engine's a big one for me. I think most people are expecting that to be strong. Pierre Gasly has been phenomenal. Like you said, second half of last season, he was unbelievable. He massively overperformed in the car that he was sat in, I think. I think Alpine are going to be very strong this year. I'm
feeling very guilty now about my first choice about them being bottom.
I would be shocked if they were down there. But listen, anything can happen this season. Would I be that shocked? I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. But yeah,
I think we've got to make bold predictions in a car that we've never seen before. We got so used to that previous generation of car, we could almost write a book about it. But this is such an unknown, unpredictable season with upside down flipping rear wings and all sorts of things going on. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's so exciting, isn't it? I mean, it's exciting, but it's also, as a McLaren fan, I'd quite happily just follow on from last season's car, to be honest.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely. Definitely going to be exciting. Number 5, who we got, Keith?
I've gone Williams. This is where I've put them just underneath the top 4 because I think that James, he did a lot of chat last year about let's not overdevelop this year's car. Let's worry about 26. Gave the guys a free hand his attitude was let's just do it, And so I've kind of got Williams as number 5, and they could be the secret assassins is where I've put them.
I've got Williams at number 5 too. Absolutely. Again, for me, I know they're, again, a bit like I said with Aston Martin, something's not quite right with Williams right now. They missed
Yeah,
out
but
in the shakedown testing in
Yeah.
Barcelona. So they're massively behind, clearly. James Vowles has come. I love that man. I love his honesty and everything about
So
him.
do I. So do I.
Come out
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
did that video, and he was completely honest. There was no trying to cover, or it certainly seemed like he wasn't trying to cover anything
No.
up. He was just so transparent with everything.
Yep.
But again, like I said about Alpine, I think that Mercedes engine is going to be vital this year. That's what all the so-called experts are claiming.
Got two
I
good
certainly
drivers.
hope they're right about the engine. I think we all do. Two very good drivers at Williams. And I think they will, again, a bit like Aston. I don't think they're going to start particularly well because I do think they are massively behind. But
No.
I think they are going to pick it up fairly quickly. And yeah, they're the top of the midfield for me at 5. What
Yeah,
about you,
that's right.
James?
So my top of the midfield, who I have in fifth, as you notice, is one team that I haven't mentioned so far. I've gone with Haas.
Ooh.
I'm basing this completely on Keith, as you said, the Ferrari powertrain.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to assume, well, I'm not just assuming, we've seen it in pre-season testing. They were starting very well on the grid, which we
Yeah.
believe is going to be an issue.
Yeah.
And I think they have two drivers that has a lot of desire and ability to get that car where it needs to go. And I'm also, another prediction that I'm putting out there, I believe that both Ocon and Beerman will both have a podium this season.
God,
I
I'd
don't
love to
think
see
that's too
Ollie up
bold.
there.
I don't think that's too bold. I think Ollie's waiting to step on that podium. I think he's got the tools. He's certainly got the attitude, hasn't he?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'd love that. I think most of us would love to see Ollie up on that podium. Absolutely.
I just think that Ferrari are being very clever with keeping him in Haas, and I think he is a replacement. Let's be totally honest. He's going to get the full red seat at some point. In my belief, he's going to be he's going to be working direct for Scuderia Ferrari. He's going to be a red driver.
Yeah, I think so. And I think they all know that. I think there's probably an agreement in place for that already, providing he keeps doing what he's more than capable and showing what he can do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's the perfect replacement waiting to take over from Lewis, isn't he?
Absolutely, yeah.
Assuming that Leclerc stays, of course.
And of course,
Haas has got the guy ready to step in when Beerman moves up.
Yes.
Formula 3 champion. He's my favourite to win the Formula 2 this year, Rafael Camara, another Ferrari Academy driver.
Yep.
He's there ready to go into Haas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hell of a setup, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hell of a setup.
I'm going to go with being completely now British bias. Would I like to see him take over from Lewis? Oh, hell yes. Of course I would.
Yeah.
But we're not allowed to say that because we're being British bias at the end of the day. Come on.
We are allowed. We can say what we want. We're honest here. If nothing else, we're honest.
But, at the end of the day, Lewis used to drive for us. He was a team driver, so we can still have that love.
We're allowed to be biased. That's what this podcast's all about, bias.
Absolutely, buddy.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Now
you're going to ask the question of the top 4.
We're going into
boys.
it. I think
I
don't think anyone will be surprised that we've all got the same teams in the top 4, right? I think most people have. I don't think anyone was I don't think anyone's predicting any of the midfield to break that top 4 up. They could do, of course they could, but yeah, that would have been really bold if we had one of these guys out of it.
This is a challenge for me, this one now, because in my humble opinion, it's just hard. It's just difficult because it could be race by race, this top 4.
Yeah, and one of those teams that we've already mentioned could easily break this top 4, in my opinion.
Yeah, we've got those secret assassins waiting to happen, as we know. So,
come on in, Keith. Who have you got at 4?
Okay, I'm going to be really bold. I'm going to stick my neck out. I'm going to say in 4th place, just because there's a new battery system involved. I am going to put Red Bull in 4th. I know they've got a fantastic driver who is Mr. Race Ready. I'm going to stick them in 4th. I'm going to be bold and say 4th.
Same. There we go.
I'm just going to do the happy dance because I'm not wrong.
Listen, Max Verstappen is by far the best driver on the grid, in my opinion. I've said that even all last season long. I think he just is.
That
Love him
guy's
or
got
hate
racing
him,
in his blood. The
the
guy
guy
is a
is
born racer.
incredible, and I don't see that changing this season.
No.
I also think Isaac Hadjar is a phenomenal driver, and I really like that guy as well. I'm going to put that out
Yeah.
there. But just on their history,
Yes.
only one driver can seem to ever drive that Red Bull.
Yeah.
And listen, Isaac Hadjar may well change that, and I hope he does for his sake.
Do you know, I would love him to come out of the shadows and not be a new number 2 shadow driver. I know there's been a big change in management. You know, we know that 2 big people stepped out and the new team principal came in and we saw changes. I'm hoping that they're developing a car for 2 drivers.
Yeah, and do you know what? I'm going to say I like Mekis as well. I really
Yeah, I
like
do.
the guy.
I do too. I like his openness as well. And the fact that he came straight and said, well, why has he got upgrades and why hasn't he? What's going on here? I like that approach.
It's quite funny because for me personally, Red Bull have been an easy team to dislike, shall we say.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan of Helmut Marko. I've made
Definitely
that pretty
not.
clear on previous podcasts when I screamed for him to resign after his ridiculous comments.
I agree totally.
About, Kimi Antonelli. I remember that podcast well because a week later he did step down. And obviously Christian Horner, which, by the way, I've seen the first couple of episodes of Drive to Survive. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. I really enjoy it for what it is. And for the first time in my life, I actually quite felt sorry for Christian Horner in that. Controversial, I know, but I actually
No, not really.
I just felt really sorry for him.
There's still a human being at the end of that lens, isn't there? There's still a human in there. And, you know, how much press did they use to make him the bad boy of the paddock?
Yeah.
You know, it's very easy for us like to jump on the coattails of certain writers and start believing the dribble that we see, you know. Yeah.
And do you know what? Shout out to Toto Wolff because if you haven't seen it, Christian Horner read out the message that he got from Toto, which was just pure class from Toto Wolff's point of view, because those two did not see eye to eye. But the message that Toto sent him was absolutely perfect. And I must admit, I got quite choked when he was reading it out, as did Christian Horner.
The question is, would he have sent that message if he was the other way around?
Probably not.
That's a good thing to look at, James. That's a good one, James. Would it have been the other way around? What would it have been like? So, who knows?
I don't think so. My own personal opinion of Mr. Horner is his arrogance got too much for him. Very much like me and you spoke about in the IndyCar preview last week regarding Gunther Steiner.
Yeah.
He got carried away with this just the documentary, with being on TV, with being almost as famous and as popular as the drivers. And I do think the Horner fell into that trap as well. And not for the good. Of course, it made him a target. And if you're a target, you've got to be whiter than white. And as we know, he most definitely wasn't.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and
let's be honest. You know, all of the information that came out about the WhatsApps, the messages, that all kind of painted not a great picture for somebody that's a team principal and standing in front of people talking about honesty and good racing. Yeah, it kind of put a mark on him, didn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, he was the first to, when people were moaning, I mean, that famous quote that he shouted at Toto Wolff, if you don't like it, change your car. And then when things turned for them, he was the first to start complaining about the McLaren, about the Mercedes, about everything else.
Always the first to shout.
How about you change your car now, instead of moaning about it? But I wasn't his biggest fan, don't get me wrong. I just felt a bit sorry for him in that scene, just the way it all ended for him. Because, again, a bit like we say about Max, love him or hate him, he was incredibly successful. And what he did at Red Bull, what Christian Horner did at Red Bull, is phenomenal. You have to respect what he did, what he achieved at Red Bull.
Can't take it away from him.
You absolutely have to.
They created a winning team, a winning formula.
Yeah.
And, you know, all credit where credit's due, it worked, didn't it? You know, they've had those championships, they've had dominance. Let's just hope it changes this year and we see some changes.
Absolutely. But they do come across as a more likable team now. Laurent Mekies,
definitely.
it seems
definitely
like
more
a lovely fella. Max Verstappen seems to have become a bit more likable. All these fans that used to despise him are all of a sudden cheering for him now.
He's been better on interviews, hasn't he? He's been more open,
think
more.
so.
Look at his face. He's been much more happy, more open about his interviews as well. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I grew to like him last season. I didn't particularly. I wasn't his biggest fan before. I always respected his driving, but yeah, I said last season he's something in him's changed a bit, and he does come across a bit more likable in my opinion. But
I think the whole team did as well, though, Jimmy. When they used to go to the pit wall, when you get the team principals and they go to the wall and talk,
yeah,
Mekki gives a completely different attitude and approach to how he talks about the team and where they are and what's going on the track. And that he's likable, quite happy to listen to him on the wall, So yeah, it's
no matter how likable they get, I will not drink their drinks. I'm going to say
not having one.
There's only one energy drink I'm drinking.
Absolutely, I've got one right there, buddy. And let's be honest, that would be one step too far in going in a Papaya dining room. Trust me.
Not happening. It's not happening. By the way, Monster, I've drunk one of these on every single episode that we've recorded. So you know what to do.
It's not happening. Trust me.
Needs to be a sponsorship there somewhere, Jimmy. Needs to be. Well, I'm going to jump in first for my third place because I don't want everyone to think that I'm copying.
Come on, then.
Just in case. I'm going with Ferrari.
I've gone Mercedes.
So I've got there's method behind my madness.
Come on, share.
I do believe they've sandbagged a lot. They was making out that they wasn't there, they wasn't ready. That was complete rubbish, as we've seen pre-season.
Yeah.
The car is going to be ready to hit the ground running. It's going to be challenging. They've nailed those starts. Hamilton's going to have a lot of points to prove, following on from last year. But as I mentioned to you this morning, Keith, when we was having a little chat about this, in Ferrari headquarters, in my mind, I see it like they have this big, shiny red button that has self-destruct wrote across. And they like to press this button once or twice a season and sabotage everything.
Yeah.
And I just can't look past it. I cannot look past it. However good that car is, somebody is going to press that big, shiny button. And the season's going to go up in smoke. It's the Ferrari way.
I'm struggling to disagree.
Can't argue with that, can we?
The last few seasons have shown exactly that.
Yeah,
it's very difficult to disagree.
I mean, I think personally they should leave it to Fred and the team, and I think the hierarchy should just watch from the side views, and they shouldn't be able to interfere. So I think, Fred brought a completely new approach to the team, and I think they should let Fred run with it. I really do. And I think they should back off and let the team do what they need to do.
And let the drivers talk, because it's important that the drivers give their feedback, despite shut up and drive. No, they need to give their feedback. They're the ones sat behind the wheel.
Yeah, they're the pilots. Let's be honest. They're the pilots here.
Especially when you've got an 8-time world champion sat in the car. People can shout 7 all they want. He's an 8-time world champion. And he's sat in that car. You listen to him.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have a pilot that good and you go, no, sorry, we're not interested in what you think. Just drive.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, that's surprising because I've put Mercedes per se down there. I've put them in third place. Even though it's their engine we're all driving, I just think we've got something a little bit more up our sleeve than they have.
Well, I've got
the engine we was driving last year and we whooped them with it last year.
Exactly why I've got them as first and not.
I've got McLaren in third.
Have you?
No, of course I haven't. Don't be so stupid.
I was going to say, good job you did.
I've got Mercedes in first as well, Keith.
Yeah.
I have.
And then, of course, that means.
That said, I think I don't know.
I don't know either. This is so
tough
difficult.
Because I think George Russell is a massively underrated driver. I've been saying that for a while. He goes about his business very quietly, but he is always there or thereabouts. I think we saw Kimi Antonelli again. Second part of last season was phenomenal. Some of his defending that he did, we spoke about it so much on this podcast, was unbelievable. It was second to none, his defending. And I expect him to take another leap this year. So, again, I'm questioning whether I've made the right decision there, putting Mercedes at third, because I really think they are going to be there or thereabouts this year.
Well, unfortunately then, for number 2, I'm not giving my wife this one. She's not allowed to have the top spot. I'm sorry, it's not happening in this house. So Ferrari is in second place in this house. Trust me.
Same. I've got them in second as well.
I just hope I don't live to regret that and that she gets the winning upper hand throughout the season.
I have a certain team with a Mercedes engine that starts with M in second place. Of course, it's Mercedes. It's
Exactly.
It's not going to be anything more interesting than that. It's Mercedes. For the reason that I just said, basically. We used their engine last year.
We did.
We made it look easy.
We did.
I don't think we can have it quite as easy this year. But come on, it's a Papaya pod. Nobody's sticking McLaren anywhere other than first in the Papaya pod. Spoiler alert.
Too bloody right we're not. I don't care about what anybody else says. They're number one.
Yeah, everyone can come at us for being biased. I think if anyone expected any of us three to have McLaren anything less than one, I think
no, they did the red
we
testing.
would probably have to just go and do another podcast, wouldn't we? Let's be honest.
I mean, we have got their engine, but come on. We all use different aerodynamics. Each chassis is different. Each aero is all changed, and we just managed to pull the most out of that engine for last year. And can we come out and do it again? Maybe not at the beginning of the season. We may be there or thereabouts, but again, I think with a team that we've got, with MTC and the engineers that are sitting in there, we've made some radical changes in the past to our cars, and we've seen it come good. Let's go back to 2024 when we started that season, and we were all like, "What is going on?" And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom, we were a rocket ship. So I think we've got that potential, and we can capitalize on that with our engineers and that team of unsung heroes that we don't see trackside, the ones that are sitting behind all the machines, making all those designs and bringing it all to fruition. So, yeah, they're going to be my number one top spot for Keith.
I'm going to be deadly honest with you guys. I've massively let my heart rule my head picking McLaren.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I think this is going to be so tough this year.
It's going to be a hard
all
season.
Of the teams, but I think we got so used to McLaren dominating it last year. I mean, we won that constructors with ease last year, and very early. Even Zach Brown couldn't have expected it to have won it that easily last year. It was phenomenal. No. The dominance from the McLaren team was incredible. We're definitely not seeing that this year.
I suppose
I'd agree with that.
If we can do one thing, if we can have learnt from one thing, though, Jimmy, we have had quite a long seasons. We went through the Honda years where we were just nowhere. As team supporters that we're team fans, not really driver fans. We are definitely a team fan. We know our team has struggled through. We know they kept it together. They kept push. If any team has got a pedigree to push through, it's definitely the McLaren. We've got that ability to knuckle down and just keep going. So let's hope so, eh?
I'm excited to see these top five drivers, guys.
God help us.
I think it's going to be a lot more out there than what our teams were. I think it's going to be a lot different.
It's going to be a challenge, this one.
I'm not going to lie. My heart's ruled my head again, 100%. So you can probably guess from that. But
well, we got one in two chances to who you're going for. So
we have got 1 in 2. So are we starting from the top, working down?
Let's start from number 5. Come on, James.
From 5, Max.
Same.
Yeah, I go with Max in 5th. For all the reasons we explained with the car.
Right, you wouldn't believe me, but on my list, you can't see it because the screen's blurred. It says Max 5.
I think we're all idiots because he's the best driver on the grid, and yet we're
all idiots. 5. And this is not a hate thing. This is a car thing.
Absolutely.
Not performing.
Completely a car thing. It's everything we said for Red Bull and more.
Yeah.
I think Max is going to drive the wheels off it. He's going to have several wins like he does every year.
Yeah.
That's not going to change. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more technical errors this year than what we've had in previous years.
Yeah, potentially.
For all cars, not just Red Bull.
No.
But yeah, I go Max down in 5th.
I did as well, purely because of what could potentially be the car issues, not the driver, because we know he can drive.
Oh, if you put them all in equal cars, he's number 1.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
I don't think there's any question.
No.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So who's your number 4 then?
See, this is the one that's going to get you all. Nobody's going to put. No, I can guarantee none of you two is going to have this guy number 4.
Better not be driving a Papaya car, mate.
I've gone with Lando in 4. I have. My heart's ruled my head with this one. I think.
Right, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. That will be the end of this podcast. Wow.
I just think he's going to. He's going to. I think him and Russell are going to have a bit of a tussle this year. And I think they're going to trip over each other a lot. And that's what I'm basing it on. I think they're going to be the best. Who's the best of the British? Who's the best Mercedes engine driver? I think they're going to have a very personal battle, very reminiscent of Norris's battle with Verstappen in 23.
Wow.
And I just think that Norris is going to come out the worst side of that. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we have McLaren 1 too. But I don't know. It doesn't quite sit too well for me.
I didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't.
But I also respect your honesty, because I've not been completely honest with how I actually think. I've definitely let my heart rule my head. But oh God, 4th. Wow. Okay. I think he's going to be driving with such less pressure, which I think will suit him, which will suit Lando. He's won his championship now. Yeah, of course he'll want another one, but that pressure's gone now for him. He will always be a world champion, whatever happens. So I've gone with Lewis at 4. I think he's gonna. I know Charles Leclerc is their sort of poster boy and everything else, but Lewis is on a mission this year, man. When you look at him, he's got that fire back when he's talking. He was so down last year. It was so hard to watch. Every interview was just so painful to see him like that. This guy is one of the best to ever do it, right? That the Ferrari looks good. Pains me to say it, but it does. And like I said at the beginning, I really hope that Lewis does well this year. And I've got him at 4th. Yeah.
I've got
Does that mean
George
you haven't
in
got
4th.
Leclerc in the top 5?
I haven't got Leclerc in the top 5. No, I think
Interesting.
Lewis is going to outperform Charles by some distance, to be honest.
I've got George sitting in 4th at the moment. That's mine. He's George. That's where I'm going. So
I've got George at 3.
See again, but like you guys, I haven't got a Charles in my top 5.
No.
See, I have, but I don't have Lewis.
Oh, this is good, isn't it? I love it.
I said he was going to be less predictable, didn't I?
You did,
It definitely is. I think Lewis outperformed Charles this year. I really do. I could be completely wrong, of course, but
I'm going to be bold then. I'm going to go with my 3rd place. I'm going to be bold because I've got Oscar in 3rd.
So no 1-2 for you either, Keith. I've
got Oscar for 3rd at the moment. Again, is my brain overdoing things? I don't know. I think Oscar did. He's a fantastic driver. He's a phenomenal driver. I'll give him his dues there. But I also think he's not as good at pressure as people think he is. And I think he lets things get to him at times. So I'm going to stick him in the 3rd, which kind of tells you where my 1 and 2 are going, probably.
Who you got at 3, James?
I go with Russell, same as you. Basically, repeating what I said with Norris, I think they're going to be tangled up.
Yeah,
for me, I could switch that role straight away, and I could have Russell in 4th and Norris in 3rd. I just think historically Russell is a little bit better at getting his elbows out, and he's come out on the better side of collisions a lot more than what Lando was.
Yeah.
The only time we've ever really seen it from Lando was with Max, and he always come out worst off. Russell, during his time at Williams and when he first went to Mercedes, we've seen him in a few wheel-to-wheel situations, and he always seems to come out on top of those. And that's purely why I've gone ahead of Norris. I think they can wrestle a lot.
I think,
yeah.
I think our top 5 are like our cars. They're going to change throughout the season. We're just going to see so many changes. For strengths and weakness. Certain circuits are going to suit other people. This is so bold. This is so bold.
Right, top two. Who you got at two, Keith?
I've gone Lewis. I just think that Lewis might be wanting to go out on a bang, and I think this is his potential to drive the wheels off something and prove to everybody that's been doubting him. You can see where my number one is, and that's complete biasness. Let's go there. I'm just going to say it right now. But I've gone Lewis as number two. I think Lewis has got a season in him. I think he's got more than one season in him. I think Lewis has got a point to prove this year, and I really want him to prove it. I want him to shut those down. I want him to quieten those doubters down. I really do want him to put the lid on those doubters.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing you've gone with Bottas in first then, have you, Keith?
As his teammate, yeah.
Yeah, mate, more than anything, I want to see Lewis smiling again and just enjoying himself. Just remember who he is. Like he said, that fan shouted out, remember who you are. Yeah, just enjoy yourself, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got a photograph on the wall that is just there, and it's Lando and Lewis embracing each other after this. And do you know what? I absolutely love that photograph. Watching Lewis's face beaming for Lando, it was, and we haven't seen that passion now for a long time. We've seen shoulders dropping, and I think the guy's got it in him. I think he's ready to show the world.
If you're writing him off, you're foolish, I think.
I think so.
I think he's going to have a massively improved season to what we've seen in recent years. I still personally don't see him getting into the top five. But again, that's just a personal choice. Going into my number two, I've gone with his teammate. I think Leclerc's going to have a championship challenging season. Yeah. He's shown he can win. I'd like to see him with a capable car under him. Because let's be honest, that Ferrari the last couple of years hasn't been that capable. Certainly last year wasn't.
Certainly last year. I think we were expecting good things from 2024 when they run us close to the constructors. I think we expected McLaren and Ferrari to go at it all last year, and we thought it was
going to be a big fight, didn't we? We thought there was going to be a big fight out the box, didn't we? Let's be honest.
Yeah, it wasn't to be.
No.
But yeah, I think you're right. I think that Ferrari is looking pretty good early anyway. I don't think that's a bad shout. It's just the unknown, isn't it? I mean, I personally think Lewis is going to outperform Charles, but I don't know why. Maybe it's just because that's what I want to happen. But I wouldn't be shocked if anything. So I've got my number one and two. We both know who they are, but what order are they?
Let's do this.
I have got at number two the reigning world champion, Lando Norris.
Yeah, okay.
And again, completely heart overhead, because I've said it on the pod a few times that I genuinely believe in my little "it's a small world after all" happy head that Lando will help out Oscar as and when he can this year. And I think Oscar, a lot of Oscar's frustrations last year came from certain team orders, which we all know about. Were they fair? Were they not? There's a lot of disagreements there. And it seemed that's when, I mean, people forget how far ahead Oscar was after Zandvoort in particular. I mean, that was his title then. Everyone, bookies probably paying out, he was that far ahead. And then, of course, a couple of decisions didn't go his way. And then his head just kind of went, which we didn't think was ever going to happen.
No,
I don't think that's happening this year. I think it's a clean slate, and I genuinely think the team won't intervene quite so much. I don't think they will, because Lando's got his championship now. So yeah, that's why I've got Lando at second and Oscar at first. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think they're both going to finish in the top two. That's just purely biasness on my part, just for the pod.
I've gone with biasness for Lando being in number one. Let's be totally honest, it's a pipe dream, it's a wish, it's a want. Will it really happen? Let's be honest. Anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Yeah, it really could.
I will say now, I will own up now to that Charles cannot be in my top five purely because of domestic reasons. I'm just putting it out there right now. For domestic bliss, he cannot be in my top five. He was written out for domestic bliss, trust me.
Oh, dear.
So, for my number one.
Come on then, buddy.
Is it going to be where I haven't got a McLaren driver in the top three?
No chance.
Confident. Oscar. Oscar's
Oscar.
going to win it this year. He should have won it last year. As Jimmy just said, he was well out in front at one point, and then for whatever reason, things just fell apart.
Yeah.
He's moved on from Mark Webber as his direct manager or trackside manager this year. I think that's going to make a big difference as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I just think he's got to prove a point to prove even this year. For whatever reason, either it's going to be I am a team player and this dominate and have a McLaren driver win the championship for the next foreseeable future, or it's going to be a case of if I win the championship this year, I can pick who I want to go to next year. Whichever reason, I think he's going to be really switched on and he's going to be focused. And I think that's dangerous. I think that's very dangerous. And I think we're going to see the Oscar that we saw in the first half of the season more consistent throughout the season.
I think that change in management, James, is a really important thing there. We know that the second part of the season for Lando, when the mind coach came in and he was really listening to his mind coach, his racecraft and switching off the social, that worked. So I think, again, for Oscar, having a change and having some other people to help and support him and lead him could make him an even tougher candidate to just take the championship and take the title.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna have a chip on his shoulder, isn't he, this year? I really do.
Hell yeah, he's got a lot to prove. Yeah, he's got a point to prove, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
Do you know what? I would love nothing more than for him to be stood on the top step of the podium in Melbourne next week as well, this weekend as well.
Yeah.
It would be phenomenal. It would be
let's be honest, he should have done it last year had it not been for the horrendous weather conditions. And I would love, like I said last year, I was quite open. I wanted Lando to win it last year. I did. He's done that now. He's won the championship. He's won Monaco. He's won at Silverstone. This year, I want Oscar to experience that. I want Oscar to experience winning his home Grand Prix. I want Oscar to win in Monaco. They're the two big ones, right? Your home Grand Prix and Monaco. I think most people would agree with that. And, of course, the championship. So, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm rooting for both drivers, of course. But Lando's done it. Let's get Oscar. Let's get Oscar behind it now and get him to
Let's throw one more question out there before we finish off. I got a little curveball question. Do you both think that we will see a debut winner this year? So someone that's never won a race before on the grid? And if so, who do you think it'll be?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Kimi Antonelli.
I'd agree with you. I've gone with two. I think we're going to see a race win from Antonelli and Hadjar.
Wow.
Hadjar's going to manage a win. I don't think that Red Bull's going to be atrocious. And what I like about him is he's got a little bit of fight and something about him that he isn't just going to kneel down for Max. As we have seen.
That would be nice.
Previously.
That would be nice.
So I think we're going to get two new race winners this year.
Well, I've definitely got Kimi down. Kimi was one of mine for, sort of like an out of the blue one. And now I'm going to stick my neck out again on my second one. Is I think we could see an Ollie right up there. We could have a Bearman right up there.
I knew you were going to say that.
You just knew I was going to say it,
I
didn't
was smiling before you said it. I knew that was coming.
And again, is that a wish? Is that a want to see a Brit on the top step? Yeah, probably, because I'm passionate about my Brit racers as probably nigh on as passionate as I am about McLaren. I just love the fact that we've got homegrown talent out there, and producing the goods. At the end of the day, why shouldn't we be supporting the guys that are fighting for the country? Because that's what they're doing. At the end of the day, these guys are piloting some amazing racecraft and doing some great jobs. And, the national anthem is played when they're up there, which is, at the end of the day, that puts goosebumps on my neck. So let's do that one.
Absolutely. Who knows? These predictions, one of us might have got them spot on. Very unlikely. Nobody knows this year. Nobody knows. One thing we do know is this is going to be one hell of a season.
So what is our race reflections going to be then? In a few months' time, as we head towards Christmas, we'll all be sitting here trying to remember, but we'll have this, of course, to go back on, and we'll be like, "Oh, I so got that wrong."
I'm going to make all the notes whilst we're editing and see if any of us made even one prediction right.
And all those other races
guaranteed
we
as a
can.
McLaren win.
Yeah, and
So
all they'll be
stick
saying,
with.
all the other people that watch this that are maybe not so papaya biased as us three will be going, no, well, they didn't show a lot about knowing what they know, did they?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to get another year on that poster behind me, the world champions. To do 3 in a row would be pretty incredible, right? From where we come
love it.
from. Get the
Get that
three-peat
again.
in. Yeah, that would be very special.
Yeah, to get a hat trick after so many years of not having anything would be phenomenal. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. We're so close, boys. We're so close.
We are so close.
Who's getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah,
unfortunately, I can't because I've got to go away and do something. But so I can't. But I'm going to put a complete block on social media until I get home and I watch that race. I am not going to be looking at anything. I don't want no one to tell me anything.
I've got the kids this weekend and I've got quite a lot of driving to do, getting them to football and netball and stuff. So I've got a lot of driving to do this weekend. So my plan is when the kids go to bed, I'm going straight to bed. My missus is away the weekend as well. So I'm literally going to put them to bed and go straight to bed myself so I can get up early and watch it. Yeah, I can't. I'm so
already
excited.
set my alarm.
I'm so excited.
I would love to be able to set the alarm, but unfortunately, I've got to be somewhere very early in the morning and it will clash and I won't want, and then I'll be late because I won't want to leave the television.
Yes, that poses a problem. I'm so excited. It feels like it's been forever, but equally, it doesn't feel that long ago because it's one of the shortest off seasons I think we've had.
Yeah. And of course, we have got packed grid. All I'll say is I just hope that what's happening, and I know we don't bring the news into this ever, we look after, but I just hope what's happening in the world doesn't impact any of our fans, or any of their families, or any of our racing that we're going to see. You just want everybody to stay safe and let's enjoy racing as neutral people that just love watching race cars going round and round.
Yeah, and do you know what? It's worth saying as well. There's a lot of people saying, what's happening with this? What's happening with that?
Yeah.
Bottom line is, guys, there is far more important stuff than Formula One, than sport, than anything else. A good friend of mine is actually out in Dubai at the moment with his family and his 2 young kids. So we don't normally watch the news in this house because it's all doom and gloom, and sometimes ignorance is bliss. But I've got we're invested anyway, right, with the UK. Yeah. But my friend and that being over there with his family has made me really, really tune into it. So yeah, absolutely. Good shout, Keith. Thoughts for
we just want to keep going through. We just want all of our race fans from across the world, from Saudi to Dubai, everywhere across the Middle East and at home. We want everybody to be able to enjoy a safe season of racing, and put the world crisis behind them, because at the end of the day, there's no point in fighting. It's all silly. But there we go.
Yeah, and that comes firsthand, right?
That comes from a veteran who says there's no point.
Yeah. On that negative bombshell, we had to touch on it, didn't we? It's so important. But yeah, no, we're all excited for the racing. But yeah,
we're going racing.
Important things, but we're going racing, guys.
We're going racing.
Going racing. Go racing. I'm so excited. I'm like a kid. I mean,
we're doing this. We're all like a kid.
She's actually glad that she's away this weekend because I am like shaking. Yeah, I can't wait, guys. Thank you. It was you guys' idea to do this as well. So, you two are amazing. You've had some amazing ideas, guys. We've got some really exciting things coming. Mainly thanks to these two for their input and their ideas, which we're going to be sharing with you all very, very soon. And of course, we've still got the IndyCar series going, which is with James and Keith. They have just recorded the review of this weekend's past race at St. Pete's. They call it St. Pete, but it's St. Petersburg, right?
It's St. Petersburg, but it's St. Pete's. Everybody knows it's St. Pete's.
That's cool. That's
cracking circuit. We had a great review, I think, and yeah, it was good fun.
That will be going out hopefully this evening before this one. So go and check that out as well. Whether you like IndyCar or not, it's brilliant. I'm just trying to get into it, and these guys are educating me. So yeah, we've got lots of cool stuff happening. So stay with us, guys. Get involved on all the socials and all the other things we're going to be doing as well. James, thank you so much, sir. Keith, thank you as well. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Jimmy. That's been Keith. That's been James. This has been the Papaya Pod. And until next time,
never stop racing.